Sasha is my manager, and she's put together some unfiltered questions for me. I don't know what these questions are. They could be awkward questions. Like, these questions could literally get me in massive, massive trouble. I'm flipping nervous.
You should be. We're going to jump straight in. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Any particular God?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim, so I believe in one God, the Almighty God.
Allah.
Allah, yeah. I'm a man of faith.
Were you a part of a religion before you went to prison?
Yeah, I was born a Muslim.
Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How closely do you follow your faith?
Well, I could do a better job. I would say I'm practicing. I do the basics, but I can certainly do a better job.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No?
Have you ever broken your fast before iftar before?
Yes, I have.
Today.
I have, yeah. I've had Rice Krispies in my bed. In
Just scooping them out the box.
Yeah. When I was younger, like little Rice Krispies, you know, them little...
Hiding.
Yeah. But no one should do that.
Yeah, don't do it. Naughty. How old were you when you had your first kiss?
Oh my God.
Cringe away.
Are we really going there?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me just drink a sip of water.
Yeah, distract the attention.
I think I was 16. No. Sorry, I was 17. I was 17, and I remember the kiss, actually. It was in a car, and it was like... Like, I'm talking from my end and probably her end as well. I don't know. But yeah.
Just the pure panic of the first kiss.
Pure. It's like, I don't know. I was eating some jelly or something.
How many relationships have you had?
Not many. Okay, relationships. Should I get technical with this?
Yeah.
Like romantic relationships, or are you talking about just relationships? I've had hundreds of relationships.
Hundreds?
Yeah.
Wild. Like romantic relationship.
Okay, so not many. We could count it on one hand.
Why are you holding two up then?
I'm not a slag.
So how many?
What, romantic partners?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. Below 5.
Remember,
I've been in prison for 10 years.
That's a good point.
Below 5, yeah. What about you?
What relationships?
How old were you when you had your first kiss?
11.
Right. Wow. So you got groomed, basically.
No, he was 11 too.
Okay. Do you know what he was doing?
Yeah.
Was it a good kiss?
No, it's terrible.
How do you know?
Well, I know now. I didn't know
well, how
then.
do you know now?
Because I've kissed more than one person.
Well, how do you know, like, right now is good? Well, how are you comparing it?
Oh, the fiance's the best. In terms of relationships, though, I've had 4. No,
4?
3. 3.
Yeah, so not many.
No. What's your biggest turn off?
This depends on so many things, but I guess feeling entitled. Maybe a little bit of that. It's a little bit of everything. Like, yeah, you know what? It's the smallest things can just turn me off.
Fair enough.
There's so many things I can go down here.
Big list.
A big list.
Fair enough.
You know.
What are your biggest red flags in a partner?
Not having the ability to communicate properly, not having the ability to listen, not understanding the other person, not finding time for yourself to grow and do any personal development work, not continually wanting to better yourself. Like, all these things, like, are red flags.
What do you think your own red flags are?
Ooh, I feel like I'm extreme. I feel like I'm very extreme, but I feel like it comes from a good place, but it's not for everyone. I've learned recently that it's not for everyone. So, for example, if you come to me with a business plan, I'll push it on you to get that executed within a week. Now, I need to understand, like, not everyone works at that pace, but I'm looking at it from a different angle, thinking, well, you're a high performer, you're not. Like, so I've got my reasons to do that, but I guess I've recently learned that, so I'm extreme. I'm a little bit toxic as well.
Yes.
There you go.
What do you count as cheating in a relationship?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
So you're quite open?
I'm open.
Cool. That kind of rules out my next question then, which was, do you think that cheating
of course,
is the end
of course there's
relationship?
I'm only joking, but, you know, like, sleeping with another guy.
Okay, so you'd be fine with them kissing someone else?
No, of course not.
No?
No.
What about flirting at the bar with someone else?
I mean, everyone flirts. So, like, flirting is not a bad thing. I think flirting is a good thing. Yeah, I think kissing and sleeping with someone.
What about like if they're flirting in like private DMs? Because that's like a step further than flirting at a bar in public, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Fair enough.
So do you think like kissing someone is cheating?
Depends whether you've spoken openly about it.
Okay. Well, with your partner?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's because some people are like that. Look at Kanye West.
Yeah.
He likes men to drool over his women.
Yeah.
He likes that. If he goes into a room with women or with his woman, he likes the idea of other men desiring his woman. Like she has to be the most beautiful, the most desired in that room. He likes that. It turns him on.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So it depends how open you are, right?
To clarify, I don't have an open relationship.
Okay.
Have you ever cheated or been cheated on in a relationship?
Define cheating.
Well, we kind of just defined it with like the flirty DMs onwards from that.
Yeah, I've done that.
Have you ever had that done to you?
No. Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know, but I don't think so. The women have no reason to do that. So I don't only just control what's going on, I also control their mind.
That sounds toxic.
I also control
Jeez.
which path to take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is I create a framework where they come to me to ask me everything.
Yeah.
So basically the answer I give them is that's the path they're going to take. It's not like, hey, go this way. No, I don't say that. But I create the framework.
Would you ask them?
So I plant so many seeds. This sounds toxic, doesn't it?
It does. But would you
But
ask
I'm just
them,
being honest.
like, if
and there's
you
nothing
wanted
wrong
to
with
do
that.
something-
Hey?
If you wanted to do something,
Yeah.
would you go to them and ask them?
Yeah, if they were good at in that area and I
Yeah.
wanted some advice.
So it's
like
more
I'm the
like-
type of person that I always ask. I want to know their opinion on a lot of
Yeah.
things. You know, like, hey, what do you think of that? What do you think of that? What would you do here? Like, I like a conversation.
Yeah.
Like deep conversations. They don't. They can't put up with it. They can't put up with my energy, my intensity, and my toxic behavior. They just can't.
I mean, you are a business bro.
Yeah.
It's kind of the stereotype.
Business pro.
Have you ever had a one night stand?
Yeah. Because there's no attachments. So, like, that's a need that needs fulfilling.
Yeah.
So if you're meeting someone in a random place and there's energy there, but there's a lot of things, you're just not going to just do it with anyone. There needs to be some attraction there.
Yeah.
So then if you decide to go in a hotel room and have a one night stand with this person and get freaky with them and just have a really good experience, that would, you know, then what's wrong with that if after that there's no headache and no stress? So, you know, you as adults, you can make that decision for yourself. So I personally think, I don't think is anything wrong with that. Like, look, when I speak to girls, this is how it goes. You know, you go on a few dates, there's nothing there's everything on the table. There's no one way. Now, after a few meetings, you could end up being friends with that person. You could end up being an acquaintance with that person. You could end up being a business partner. You could end up having a relationship with that person. You could end up being your wife.
Yeah.
Or it could end up being a one night stand. But you're not gonna know that till you end up in, you know, you meet a few times and see where the vibe is. So I feel like people need to be a little bit more open in what's going on. So that's just my approach. I think I approach it very much with a bit more strategy. Because I know I used to do this a lot. Like when I was younger, it's just like you meet girls for the first time and there's an assumption that now you have to be together.
Yeah.
So you end up saying the wrong things. You end up talking shit. You end up lying. And the truth is, like, you didn't feel that in the first place, and you're so deep into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now you're just lying a lot. I remember one of my relationships, or one of the girls I was dating, I think, and she said to me, "I love you." We were kissing, and she said, "I love you." Right? It was in that moment, tense moment. She said, "I love you," and you know what I done? Like a little shitty ass. I said, "I love you" back.
Oh.
Now I know I didn't mean it, but I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But obviously I was young, but that's not the point. The point is, like, if you had set some standards from day one, like, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's just be open. Let's just go on 4 or 5 dates and then figure out what's the best path for us. I feel like that's the way it should be done.
Like recruitment.
Yeah.
If you did have a one night stand, and they got pregnant like
Oh my
today,
God.
would you encourage them to keep the baby or get an abortion, or would you leave it up to them? What?
You know, when hands go up, it's like defensive, isn't it? So put it back down. No, I would make sure like I wouldn't have sex with them until I'm 100% sure they're on contraception or something.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah, but as long as I can manage as much of that as I can, like they're on contraception, I've got a condom, and that sort of thing. Just control it as much as you can. And also, like, you need to know who the girl is.
Yeah.
You know, if shit does happen, like, have you got enough willpower? Have you got enough control over the situation where you can literally call and sit her down and say, we're not having that. You're going in and getting that abortion, or we'll find we'll have a baby. Like, whatever it is, wherever you are in life. I guess for a guy, it depends where he is in life.
Yeah.
So for me, if I was ready to have a kid, then it's fine. But if
Are you right now though?
No.
So no.
No. So it would literally be like, you know, you're gonna go and get this abortion because I don't want to be a bad father. If she says no.
Yeah. If she's like, no, I want to keep it.
Take her to a one-way flight to Afghanistan.
She's like, okay, well, I don't want anything from you. You don't have to have anything to do with it. I don't want any support. I don't want anything like that.
Yeah.
But I want to keep the baby.
I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but this is where you have to have them conversations beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't get into that situation if I knew like I had this whole situation under control in the first place.
Yeah. If you had a partner and they came up to you and they said, right, Ibby, I want to start an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd be like, cool.
Fair enough.
That's fine. I'll help her set the business up. I'll help market it. And obviously I'll charge a fee for it.
Have you ever felt like you've been a victim of racism?
No, I don't think so. I have felt going into certain places like they're looking at me like people have been looked at me like, oh, you look different, and they made me feel that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like, honestly, this is how I see it, right? If someone went to an Asian country and a black person walked in or a white person walked in, they would do the same.
Yeah.
And you don't know what their intentions are. It could be like, oh, like, but I think that this is where education comes in. You have to do it in a subtle way. Like if you walked in and I think, oh, you look very different, like to everyone in here, like it's what I can be like, or I can be like just when I'm just like putting my jacket on and just have a look like that. Like it's ways to do it. Like I don't really care, but yeah, it's happened. But I wouldn't say that's racism. I don't really like that word racism because that racism exists in every culture. There's Asian people being racist to Asian people. There's black people being racist to black people. There's white racism with other whites. So I don't believe in that word. That's a stupid word.
All right. Did you follow the lockdown rules during COVID?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I make rules. I don't follow rules. You know, I like freedom, and like I wasn't going to follow no rules. Like I just don't believe in it. It's not something I believe in. I mean, yeah, my business was open as well. So I was just going to do my business stuff, and yeah, I don't follow rules. I make rules.
Was it hard for you to run a restaurant during COVID?
No, we adapted to takeaway. We adapted to people wanting to come out. We were more busier than ever. You know, people had nothing to do but had money with furlough and everything else, and they were just coming and spending it. So for me, it was great.
Okay, bit deep now. We're getting deep.
Right.
When was the last time you cried?
Oh, a few days ago.
Over what?
A week ago, I would say. What was it? It was I find them moments where families get together, you know, like Holly Willoughby used to do surprise.
Yeah.
And you know them people when they come from the airport and then they see someone after 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Like them sort of things gets me emotional. When Donald Trump the fight thing happened, you know, when he lost his ear and the way he come back from that, I felt like that was like he was getting criticized for everything, and that was a little bit emotional. But then it was like it's so many more things. It's just so many more things that happen. Like I just get carried away when I see kids in Africa and, you know, poor countries around the world, and I see like the walking, that makes me emotional. When I see someone achieve something great, Like let's say you've achieved something, like you've just got
Won
your
an Oscar.
certificate or
Woo.
or certificate or whatever. Like that will make me emotional out of happiness.
Yeah.
So my emotions are not always through bad emotions. They also, it depends, but they're emotions. So yeah, I feel like I do shed a tear in a lot of things.
What was the lowest moment of your life?
Lowest moment? I mean, I've had some dark days in business. My mum passing away was a dark moment, and then my little brother passing away was a little bit of a sad, a dark moment. Yeah, I've had lots over time, but I guess I would have to say them. Yeah, apart from that, maybe I have one yet to come.
Maybe.
You know,
Let's hope not.
sitting down with you.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I would cry too. What is your ultimate goal in life? If you could achieve like one massive thing.
Yeah, I think it's just I'm chasing like freedom. Yeah, I'm just chasing like in every area.
Yeah.
Like freedom to speak when I want, freedom to go where I want, freedom to wear what I want, freedom to eat what I want, freedom to reply when I want, freedom to answer calls when I want, freedom to spend money when I want. Everything, like
The
every
dream.
area of my life, like the freedom is the goal.
Yeah.
That probably that's what it is, you know.
Cool. What's your biggest fear?
Define the word fear.
Something that you can't bear thinking about happening.
I don't know what that means.
Like, I don't know, a lot of people's is like being irrelevant and not being remembered.
Yeah, I mean, let me just tell you how I define the word fear. So fear to me means like a crocodile is here or a lion is here, is about to bite my leg off. For me, that's fear.
Yeah.
Like you are in immediate danger. I feel like a lot of people mix the word fear with anxiety.
Yeah.
And I do really understand fear, so I have no fear. Anxiety, I do have.
Yeah.
Because that's like comes from, you know, procrastinating and not taking action and just making up a story in my head about something, about a future outcome which isn't happening. But fear, I don't have any, because I understand how I define that word is, you know, if there's no crocodile here or, you know, lion here that's going to take us out, it's no fear. So there's the answer.
But what's your biggest anxiety then?
I don't have a big anxiety. I just have anxiety every day.
General.
I feel. Yeah, in general, it's just like when I'm overthinking something or when I'm self-doubting or when I'm double questioning something, anxiety does kick in at that point. But then I also know very quickly how to snap out of it. So I can't think of a specific example because because it's probably not something I think about or like think of it like that.
How do you think that losing people that you're close to has impacted you?
I think I wish my mum was here. Honestly, so many ways I wish my mum was here. I wish my little brother was here.
Yeah.
Like I felt like they just went too soon. So I 100% think it's affected me in some way in what I do every day and, you know, how I make my decisions and, you know, just life in general. So I think in every single thing I do or in most things I do, I think about, I wish if they was here, what would I do? Like, yeah, like all the time. So yeah, I guess that's to answer your question.
I like this one.
Yeah.
I'm
just let me just ask you a question. So you've lost
my granddad.
Your granddad. Is that the closest person you lost?
Yeah.
So, like, do you think of him
all the time?
Yeah.
All the time. Because he was always like my number one champion. Like if I wanted to do something, he would be like, let's do it. Let's go. You got this.
Yep.
And he's not here to do that anymore. So I kind of have to do that for myself. Would you ever murder someone if you knew 100% you would get away with it?
No. I don't think I'm like that.
I feel like I have the potential to do it, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Rather than like I actively want to.
Well, I
don't.
don't.
You know what
I think I'm very capable of violence.
Yeah. I think everyone's capable of a certain level of violence anyway.
If a girl done me wrong or like really wrong, like to extreme, like if she's like really cheated on me or like done it with my best friend or you know something like really bad, I wouldn't hurt her at all. You know, I'm not like that. That's all. But I would just love to shave her hair off.
The psychological trauma, then.
Yeah,
I see. Do you see yourself getting married and having children in the future?
In the future, maybe, but I see myself having kids with a lot of women.
Oh.
Yeah, I want a lot. Because I'm like 36 now.
How's it think though?
Yeah, I'm 36 now and I've not got any kids. So my plan is to get to 42 or 43. Right? It's because I'm working. You know, I've spent 10 years in prison. I'm behind. Like,
you have the luxury of doing that as a man anyway.
So my plan is to then follow Elon Musk's route. So he's got kids with multiple women. So what I'm going to do is, the 1 year I decide to have kids, I'm just going to go and have kids with like 10 women on that same year.
Okay.
So I'm doing the maths. So then it's going to take them 9 months to get pregnant. So let's just say from 42, instead of having one kid with one woman for 1 year, and it's going to take a long time to have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So if I find 10 women, which is, you know, very easy to do, and then be like, okay, I'm going to have a kid with all of you this month, like January. And then by December, they'll all be...
all the birthdays line up.
Yeah, birthday line up. And then like, I've got like 10 kids in 1 year.
Yeah.
So I'm maximizing my return on my sperm and also my time. And then by the time I'm like 60, I've got like 10 kids, all 20 years old.
How are you going to give the adequate amount of attention to all 10 kids though?
Obviously, I'll have the right support system, nannies, and, you know, the right people around to make sure that happens.
Do you think you're a judgmental person?
To a point, yeah.
Would you ever invest in a friend's business venture?
No, I would invest in anyone's as long as it made sense.
Is there anything you feel insecure about?
Yeah.
What?
I feel like my nose is big, my ears are big. They need patching a bit.
Patching. Have you or would you ever have plastic or cosmetic surgery?
Probably, yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Someone who always done more for others than got from them.
Who's your biggest role model?
I have many role models, like in different areas of life. And on that, I hope you enjoyed the Unfiltered questions. Sasha, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell us in the comments what you thought was weird, what you thought was good. And if you want us to do more of these, then please let us know. But we'll see you on the next video.